Welcome into Jags A.M. this Monday. I'm Kainani Stevens. Brian Sexton, John Oesher with us this morning as we go over a frustrating Week 2 loss for the Jaguars, who led almost the entire game in Cincinnati and lost in the final minute to the Bengals. Let's start out with big thing number one, which is a missed opportunity in a game where quarterback Joe Burrow was knocked out in the first half. They went up against backup Jake Browning, but couldn't pull out a win.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, dang it. It is early, though. It's early. So we're not going to splinter. There's going to be a lot to learn from it. No excuse at all. I mean, we got to go win that freaking game. But, yeah.
Brian, it was a frustrating one, especially because it felt like that was a chance for you to get to the Bengals, and just kind of a lot of things went wrong in that game.
Yeah, steal a road win, right? I mean, for a team that hasn't won on the road a lot lately, that was an important one. You know what I reflected on last night was last week, John, in one of his first answers of his Wednesday press conference, the head coach talked about adversity. His team hadn't faced any really other than the rain delay against the Panthers, so he was curious how his team was going to handle adversity. I thought they handled adversity well, right? After Burrow scores the touchdown to tie the game at 7, Jags go right back down the field. After they tie the game in the third quarter, Jags get an interception and they score to take the lead again. It was just, they handled adversity fine. What they didn't handle very well was prosperity. Devin Lloyd gave them an opportunity with about 5 minutes left to play to seal the deal, to slam the door shut, to grab the win. And they couldn't take advantage in the red zone, in goal to go. And that's the missed opportunity that I feel the most this morning.
Yeah, look, I always try to look at the big picture and sometimes overlook the small picture. And the small picture was that it was a gut-wrenching loss. And I thought Dewey said it best when it was like, dang. And you just felt like it was there. I think the spine of what this team is doing is really good. I thought they overcame adversity, the offensive line, the running game. You see how they're going to do it, and it seems very sustainable, and it's going to get a lot better. Some key mistakes that you can't have cost them, and that's sometimes what happens when a team is starting to find its footing in a new regime. This felt like 96, Brian. I mean, so I think they'll find it, and I think you're going to go through some of these early as they iron out some things.
And I know there's a lot of concern, and most of it's about Brian Thomas Jr. and drop passes. But to be honest with you, if you look at this team and the way that they're doing the things that they want to do, like John just touched upon, there's a lot to like.
Let's go to big thing number 2, which is players play. We talked about the wide receivers having a tough day, including Brian Thomas Jr. Trevor Lawrence talked about that after the game.
First of all, I never want to speak for a guy and his confidence on where he's at. You know, I think me and BT have a good relationship, and we do communicate. And, you know, that's just something where, you know, I got to be better for him and vice versa. Like, we got to help each other out, you know. There's a couple plays today where I can give him a chance down the field where I didn't. I know there's obviously a couple plays that he can make too. He'd tell you the same thing. So we're all in it together. It's a team sport. That's the beautiful thing about it is no one's out there by themselves. So.
Brian Thomas Jr. didn't look like the Brian Thomas Jr. we saw last year this Sunday. Brian, how do they fix this?
I don't know. I mean, that's the area of great concern this morning, because this was a guy that you counted on. In fact, I think I've said on this show a couple of times, he's the best player on this roster based on what he did last year. But, John, right now, he's not playing like that, and they've got to figure that out. I think it may be as simple as, if you fix what ails Brian Thomas Jr. right now, you fix the team. You put yourself in a position to make more plays and extend drives and score touchdowns, and you're not in a close game like that late and putting yourself in a position to make mistakes like they did. You fix Brian Thomas, and again, I don't know how you do that, but if you get that righted, you will be in a good position.
Let's go to our final big thing today, which is going to be giveaways, as there were some turnovers for the Jags. They threw some interceptions and also just a lot of penalties. We saw a ton of illegal shifts in the game. Head coach Liam Cohen discussed what that was about.
Yeah, I mean, first, like you guys kind of alluded to it during the week, first time on the road, silent cadence. We had some motions and shifts in the offense in order to take advantage of, 91 and try to help with 91 in some ways. Maybe looking at it, we got to go evaluate, did we have too much in the game plan for these guys to go execute? So that's something that we have to be better at as coaches to go figure out.
John, I think we saw 5 or 6 illegal shifts in that game, talking about trying to deal with Trey Hendrickson, a lot of motion for the wide receivers. That was something we saw penalties in week 1. None of the illegal shifts, I think, were accepted because the plays weren't working out, but still not something you like to see.
Yeah, I think what we saw yesterday was Liam Cohen's offense, and Liam Cohen can really coach offense, and he can do it at a high level. And I thought we saw yesterday, and he said it, and he's very transparent after losses, which is good because it helps you understand it. Probably gave him a little bit too much in terms of the motion. So much of their motion enables Trevor and the offense to identify what the defense is going to do. Once this entire roster and the offense gets experience in his scheme, I don't think you'll see it happen very often. But I do think they are trying to find that sweet spot of what they can handle now versus what they'll be able to handle when they're really an experienced, fine-tuned machine. I didn't love the penalties, but once I heard the explanation, they have stuff that they can do that this bunch might not be quite ready for yet, but will be soon.
All right, something to keep an eye on. Stay with us here on Jags A.M. We got a bunch of tape to look at from the game yesterday in Cincinnati.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
It's game time, Jaguars fans. This season, feed your fandom with the Jaguars sub from Publix, the official supermarket of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow! Sink your teeth into crispy chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, melted cheddar, sweet coleslaw, and smoky barbecue mayo, all stacked on a fresh white roll. Taste the hype only at Jacksonville Publix locations. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
The moment you drop off donations at a North Florida Goodwill, your things start new lives. A donated jersey helps someone suit up for success through education and training. A pair of old cleats helps a job seeker step confidently into new career opportunities. Every donation fuels Goodwill's mission to provide education, training, and career opportunities, removing barriers to employment and building brighter futures across our community. To find your nearest donation center and learn more, visit goodwillnorthfl.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
Jags fans, this one's for you. If you've got MyGate rewards, you're already in the game. But now you've got a shot at the ultimate prize, meeting QB1 himself, Trevor Lawrence, at Everbank Stadium with 3 friends by your side. With the MyGate Rewards Gatorade Club, every 5 Gatorade items you purchase equals 1 entry toward your chance to win. Stack them up and score big. See store for details. Gear up for the season. Gates got you.
The kick is up. It's good!
Field goals for Firehouse Subs are back. That means when the Jags score from deep, you do too. Anytime the Jags score a field goal that's 40 yards or more, you can get a free medium sub with the purchase of any other medium sub online or in the app for 4 days following the game. So cheer on the Jags, watch for the big kicks, and get your buy one, get one free medium sub at participating Firehouse Subs throughout Jacksonville when you use the app. The hottest subs in Duval. See firehousesubs.com for offer terms.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit dreamfindershomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Jags A.M. brought to you by UF Health, the official healthcare partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, also the sponsor for this week's game, Week 3 game against the Texans. Welcome back in. There's a lot of stuff that happened yesterday, so we got a lot of video to go over, so we're going to get right into this. It was nice to see them go and score on a drive, their first possession, go out and score. They played from behind a lot last year, so to see them be, seems like they're going to be aggressive, take the ball, kind of go down the field. Let's take a look at that drive. We did see some good stuff early from them with Trevor, we saw them really focus on the run against the Panthers. They threw it a lot in this game against the Bengals, obviously matchup dependent, but nice to see them out there kind of looking cohesive, I guess, to start the game, at least from what I saw, Brian.
They looked really sharp, and Trevor in particular had all kinds of time to throw. He was patient in the pocket and allowed things to develop. And at least on this early drive, his ball placement was excellent.
He got that touchdown early, which was good to see there as they took the lead. And then we're going to go now a little bit later with, we saw obviously the traded tank to the Eagles last week, but that meant more time for Bashal Tutin. So we got to see Tutin. Also, Parker Washington had a great game yesterday, so as well there. It was nice to see other people making plays when given the opportunity. We know what Tutin, we've seen Tutin in practice, he's a very fast player, but to see him have that opportunity out there, John, and to show it early.
Yeah, Tutin showed there why they felt comfortable trading things to. You have to have him on the field. On the screen pass, it should have been a 4 or 5 yard game, and he turns it into a 17-yard, or whatever it was. He turned it into a longer game. He's really fast. He has great balance. It's going to be interesting to see how long Travis Etienne can hold him off. And that's not a knock on Travis Etienne. They have two really good running backs.
Well, and I just got you're right. I got the sense yesterday that the two of them are going to enhance one another's performance, because Travis Etienne is not a 220-pound back. He takes a beating when he runs in the middle. When you have a guy who can put in there and give him a good solid rest in the middle of the second quarter, or start him and let Travis come off the bench, once they get the roles right, you have a real opportunity with those guys.
And I probably phrased that wrong. I'm not sure it's a matter of holding off. I think it's going to be a two-headed monster in the backfield, because that's really what the NFL is now, unless you have a Saquon.
Let's take a look at what Burrow and Jamar Chase were able to get up to while Burrow was in the game, because obviously they're a dynamic pairing that we're well aware of at this point. Jamar Chase is going to get his no matter what kind of game it is, but he was impressive to watch, to say the least.
You know, I don't know if you're going to show it later, but the screen pass down the Bengals sideline where it had 3 defenders on him, how he got free just shows you what a special player he is. And Joe Burrow was in traffic and just fired that ball. It didn't appear he could even see him, but he knew where he was going to be. He's the best for a reason. No one had more receptions, more yards, or more touchdowns than he did last year.
Yeah, and I'm talking about the Jaguars receivers later, and I don't want to turn this into a show where you just kill that position group. But you saw the difference in an offense that knew it could go through its one, and knew it could rely on that, and knew that it had that to depend on. And right now the Jaguars can't depend on their wide receivers. Yesterday they couldn't, and I thought it was a difference in the game.
I think all of us expect BTJ to be able to rise towards that level. I don't know if you ever say get to Jamar Chase's level, Kai, but to rise towards that level, and we haven't seen it in 2 weeks.
Taking a look at the running backs, Etienne had a big run, and then Tutin's touchdown, his first of his NFL career. We talked about what Tutin's going to bring to this offense, but also it's given, I feel like Travis Etienne has enjoyed Liam Cohen's new offense and the ability for him to contribute in different ways, right? Whether it's the screen game, whatever it might be, they do end arounds with him. It's exciting to see Travis utilized in different ways, just over the years he's been here, to see what he's capable of now.
Well, backs enjoy when they can run 25 yards without being touched.
That helps.
So I think he does like that. But I mean, we were talking before the show. Liam Cohen can really coach the run, and the amount of yards that they get before contact is so much different than it's been here in the past. It actually takes some getting used to feeling like, okay, this is what they're going to be, right? And so, to me, what we're seeing in the running game from these two backs in the line, that's the foundation piece, Brian, that I think they're going to be able to build going forward.
And don't forget the wide receivers. We saw on the play, the 25-yard play up the sideline by Etienne, there's Brian Thomas out there. So people are questioning him today, obviously, for the drops. But in that sequence, he was down the field, blocking, creating space. So the wide receivers have been key contributors. And, of course, Liam Cohen said during training camp, they better be.
Yeah, they've really bought into that. And I'm sure it's because he made them buy into it.
Yeah.
Sure.
But nonetheless, the results are there.
The buy-in is good. Joe Burrow went down with an injury in the second quarter. Never want to see that. Looks like it might be turf toe, which, depending on whether it's surgical or not, he could be out for months. He did leave this football game, but it was part of a sack from Eric Armstead. Wasn't on the foot that he injured, but it was nice to see some of the the pressure that the defensive line and the edge rushers were getting.
They were getting after Burrow. I mean, he got hit a bunch of times, and the pocket was collapsing all around him. I don't know how the game would have turned out had he stayed in it, but you got the sense that the Jaguars were really geared up defensively to take on Burrow.
Yeah, look, I thought Liam said it best after the game. They gave up 31, but I'm not sure this defense this year is ready to be a defense that only gives up 10 points a game. They had 3 sacks, they had 3 picks, they had the pick. I'm talking about that later with Devin Lloyd, I'm sure. They made the play. They broke serve enough, as I like to say, for this team to win. And I don't think Liam on the team playing last night was thinking, boy, the defense didn't hold up for us.
No, especially against a team that you know can score like that.
Well, when you have those receivers, you're going to score.
Well, listen, if you take away the 15-play drive at the end, you're thinking the defense played pretty darn well.
Sure. Let's take a look at Trevor's second interception. He had an early interception in the end zone. This was his second interception of the day. Yeah, it was the one went to Brian Thompson over the middle. It's a frustrating situation because I think people have expectations for Brian Thomas Jr., which are fair based off what you've seen from last year. It is important for us to remember that trust needs to go both ways with a quarterback-wide receiver relationship, and a lot of his success was with Mac Jones last year. I harp back to that because I'm like, why isn't it looking the same? And I'm like, well, maybe it wasn't as much of the success came with Trevor as it came with Mac Jones. So getting that together, and I don't know if that's not trusting going over the middle for him, if that's just a quarterback thing, if that's his own thing. But that's a play that you probably expect an NFL wide receiver to make.
I think we can all imagine that there's going to be a conversation today involving Brian, the head coach, maybe Edgar Bennett, the receivers coach, and that play is going to be shown, and there's going to be a conversation about it. It's been the topic of conversation since it happened last night. It's a tough question to ask. It's a harder question to answer. I don't have the answer for it other than to say that's your one, and he's got to play like it.
Yeah, I mean, stopped on the route.
Yeah.
Now,
there were 2 defenders bearing down on him.
There's the debate, should Trevor have thrown it there? I'm a believer that the receiver has to go get the ball there, but I'm not the guy doing that. So,
also true. Let's look ahead. More Jamar Chase, the Tinsley touchdown. Some impressive play. I think Coach Cohen talked a little bit about this late. I don't know if this is. Let's take a look. Oh yeah. So Jamar Chase catch, and then the Tinsley touchdown. I think Jarian was in coverage for that one.
He was.
Great catch. I mean,
it was tremendous catch. That one was hard to even beat.
They have great receivers, and they were going to make some plays. And this,
because that's the guy you give one-on-one, right? You give Jamar Chase to T. Higgins. You're like, oh, this will be fine. Great catch.
He probably could have covered him better, but it was probably 9.5 out of 10 coverage. So they're going to make plays, and like I said earlier, the NFL right now is about getting turnovers and making plays in the moments. And forcing 3 turnovers should have been enough to win that game.
Let's look at one of the other turnovers. Dewey got an interception. He had one in week 1 that was called back because of the penalty. Eric Murray also had an interception earlier, but Dewey flying in here. John, I think he said he looks kind of like Travis Hunter making that dive.
I was looking down, and when I looked up for a moment, all I saw was the 2. And I thought, well, there's that body control we heard about with Travis Hunter, and it was Dewey. So now, great read. It's the kind of play this kid makes. It's why he's on the field. He's smart. So good for him.
Listen, last
wish for him to have been in a win.
In week 1, it was an underhand toss essentially to him. Like, here, get it. The degree of difficulty for him running back that direction to reach up and pull it, and then to have the wherewithal to get up and turn right back up the field. Listen, I felt like he might get one because he got robbed of the one in week 1. He is somebody who is a incredible addition to this defense because last year the safety play, as we all know, was horrendous, and he's made a big difference.
There are a couple of smart safeties back there.
Eric Murray as well, absolutely. Let's take a look at T. Higgins' touchdown, tied up the game at the time. This was a tough one for Tyson Campbell because when you're one-on-one with some of these guys, that's a tough matchup. I think this one when Dewey comes in late as well, trying to make the tackle and they run into each other. Yeah, and for them to go in to score. I think Liam Cohen talked post-game a little bit about trying to disguise some things. You look not just straight one-on-one because their wide receiver core is probably the best they're going to face all year, and that's a tough matchup for anybody.
Yeah, he said that was the one time they put single on T. Higgins, and he said that was a mistake. You don't always call every play perfectly. So Cam called a great game. On that one, it sounded like if they had to do it over again, they would have been in zone.
Well, he's a 1, right? I mean, I know he's number 2 in Cincinnati, but he's 6'5", and with the speed, once he gets that step on you with the reach that he has and the leaping ability, if the third-team quarterback could have thrown that touchdown for them.
All right, let's take a look at this kind of red zone sequence where they were unable to score because Brian Thomas Jr. had some drops. We've discussed that. We'll see that here. But also, De'Ami Brown had a drop touchdown in this series as well that would have sealed the game as well. So you got to, I mean, as much as we're pointing the finger at Brian, there's a lot of blame to go around. I'll get into that later. But there's a lot of people that could have stepped up that didn't do it at certain times.
That's a touchdown.
Yeah.
Should be.
And if that's a touchdown, then Trevor has 4 touchdowns on the day. And we're talking about him in more glowing terms than people are talking about him today.
Yes. I don't know if we have a ton to say about it. They're just drops and they're just mistakes.
Well, on that one, I mean, I'll point out because people are watching this, so we got to say it. It was the same story as the first half. So you have to be able to go catch the ball in traffic in this league.
Yes. Devin Lloyd had an interception late, which also felt like a gift and looked like he might make it into the end zone, but kind of rolled over, got his knee down, so they called him down. But that felt like another, okay, now we can seal it up.
Well, I'll rephrase it. I'm not sure his knee was down.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either.
So
he blew the whistle.
Devin Lloyd also wasn't down is my next T-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go.
But in it now, it's a hard call for the official to make because your instinct as an official is you see that and it's down because he went to the ground. But I don't think he was down and should have been a touchdown. I think any coach, any player in this team would say, we had the ball in the 12.
Yeah.
We got to go score. Right. But it took away a really, really nice play by Devin Lloyd, by the way, who's been criticized a lot and has had his struggles. But nice play by Devin Lloyd.
Well, and listen, that was what I was talking about off the top of the show about prosperity. I mean, you have the ball at the 12-yard line. Call it whatever you want, killer instinct. You got to slam the door right there. You've got to be in the huddle and say, no matter what, we're going forward and we're going to get a touchdown, and the game is over right there. And of course, you lose 4 on first down and the throw. And I talked to Jeff Loggeman this morning, and he said that was the throw to Brian Thomas was just fine. He should have caught it. I totally agreed with the coach's conversation to have Trevor throw that ball because at the very least, you've got him pinned deep. At the most, throwing it to number 1, you figure you get a first down, and the game's over.
Well, that play has been debated. I mean, in the Ozone mailbag, I didn't kick the field goal. Look, I would have kicked the field goal because I'm 59 years old and I grew up watching the NFL in the 70s. New school NFL tells you that the odds are the team can go get a touchdown in this league now. It is a touchdown, high-scoring league. So for fans who, I got one email saying, I hope he learned his lesson. That's what they're going to do.
Oh, yeah?
This is what they are, so buckle up.
I was fine with them going for it. I would have liked some run more. I feel we got a little away from the run. And maybe when you're having some drops as well, that might be a good time because they hadn't stopped the run to that point. So for me, I would have enjoyed a little more.
This is a running football team. You're not wrong.
From what I've seen, so I would like to see that. We'll talk about the Bengals' last drive. They called pass interference on Travis Hunter there on that last Bengals drive, which, again, we don't blame anything on the referees, but that was a tough one. Maybe rookies don't get that call, but that was a tough call.
If you see it,
to give them 25 yards and kind of get them going.
The receiver's falling down on his own accord, and the official is looking back towards it. And he must have just thought, well, he had to get pushed.
Fans get very frustrated with me because people talk about officiating all the time. I don't talk about it. I would like to have somebody tell me what Travis Hunter did wrong on that play because it looked to me like coverage and even turnaround went for the ball. There's no face guarding in this league. So I think on that one, bang, bang plays sometimes don't go your way. Yep, Again, in the mailbag, Travis Hunter's been taking some heat for that. I don't know that he deserves heat for that play.
If the official, and they wouldn't be because they have a position they're supposed to be in, but if the official had been on the other side of the play, the back side of that play, there's no chance that he throws that because he would have seen the guy going down on his own.
Yeah.
It's a tough one, and then it kind of led to the rest of this drive. It was a big chunk play, 25 yards, I think, to get them going, and then quarterback sneak with just a couple of seconds left in the game, and Bengals took their first lead, and they won the game late. So
it's hard in the NFL when you have a 4th down and you stop them, and that gets taken away, and that doesn't happen. Second stops are hard. I mean, once you don't get it, you always kind of feel like, oh, that was their shot, because it's a league geared toward offense.
I think I wrote in Quick Thoughts last week that you can play well and give Joe Burrow just a sliver of an opportunity. You play well for 59 minutes and all of a sudden he can beat you. So this morning I'm wondering, I guess Jake Browning can beat you in 59 seconds or 59 minutes in the final minute as well.
People talk about Burrow so much, and I do too. I love the guys. I love the way the guy plays. Sometimes I think you talk about Burrow so much that you forget they have the best wide receiver combination in the NFL. And when you have that level, that level of receiver can elevate a quarterback.
Well, and that's why you go for it on 4th down inside the 10-yard line, like they did, because they understood the field goal doesn't protect them from losing the ball game by 1.
You're going to get it. All right, stay with us. We've got hot takes for you coming up after the break.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamfindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Are you ready for a taste bud touchdown? Well, Jags fans, if you're at the bank and craving a snack that's shell-shockingly good, look no further than Luray Peanut Company's boiled peanuts. Picture this, you in the stands, cheering on your Jaguars, and in one hand, a bag of piping hot boiled peanuts. With original or Cajun to choose from, they're so delicious, you'll wonder where they've been all your life. So grab them while they're hot and get back to the game. And as always, Duval! Luray boiled peanuts, where every nut is a winner.
What's the best part about lawn care during the winter? You can give it a rest. Lawns only need watering up to once a week. Really, that's it. Using less water means you're saving time and money that you can put towards something else. Before you run your sprinklers, remember, give it a rest and only water up to once a week. For more information, visit waterlessflorida.com.
Chelsea here, ready to upgrade your windows or patio doors? Right now during the Renewal by Anderson's Big BOGO event, buy one, get one 40% off, plus zero money down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. At Renewal by Anderson, our Acclaim Impact Replacement windows are built for Florida homes and designed to help you save money on your energy bills by maintaining indoor temperatures year-round. Offer expires September 30th. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free design consultation. License number CGC 1527613.
At GEHA, they stand behind their members because they were founded by members. They're not focused on Wall Street, they're focused on Main Street. So they built dental plans with 100% coverage for in-network preventive care, with access to a nationwide network of nearly 600,000 provider locations. GEHA is proud to offer dental plans exclusively for federal employees, federal retirees, and military retirees. Visit GEHA.com to learn more.
To aim higher, run faster. It's what elite athletes do. Always strive for better. At UF Health, we have that same DNA. To not just treat a stroke, but to create a fleet of mobile stroke treatment units. To not just do research, but to use AI to save lives with one of the most powerful supercomputers in academia. We believe, like athletes, that human progress has no finish line. UF Health, National Medical Center for Team USA.
Jags A.M. Hot Takes brought to you by Firehouse Subs.
Nah, man, that BTJ, man, that's somebody I'm not worried about. I feel like he know who he is, and he know who he is, and I feel like he's here for a reason. I feel like nobody in his locker room have trouble with confidence. Like, we play football our whole lives, like, we don't get to this point and lose ourselves. So I feel like we had the utmost confidence in BTJ, and we ran with him till the wheels fall off.
ETN talking about Brian Thomas Jr.'s confidence.
I'd like
ETN,
to see him go down a locker or two and give him that speech.
I think that probably is taking place. I know ETN's had a lot of situations. You think about game 1 last year, the fumble at the goal line. I trust his understanding of being under that kind of pressure and kind of dealing with that. So I think that would be a great resource, actually, to kind of talk about that. Got some hot takes for you on Monday from Firehouse Subs. So, Brian, what is your hot take?
Keep on running. Keep on running. And I want to use one play, but I want to be clear. I'm not criticizing play calling. That's low-hanging fruit. I rarely do it. So I'm not saying that they should have done something completely, well, I guess I am saying they should have run the ball in this situation. But they got the ball at the 12-yard line with about 10 and a half minutes to play. And they were up 27-24, and they were just driving the Bengals off the line of scrimmage. And they got to about the 40-yard line. You got a 4-yard toot and run and a 4-yard toot and run. And I think it was at the 47, and it was 3rd down and 2. Here's my hot take. Just keep running the football there, because as John talked about, Liam Cohen is really good at getting the running game going, and you were driving them off the ball. Just keep going. Let it be run first. And I would not have said this in recent years. They've been terrible on 3rd down and 2. But I have such confidence in their short yardage ability in just 2 weeks with Liam Cohen and this new system. At that moment, it felt like you get that 1st down and you drive down the field and you chew up a couple more minutes of clock and you get another score. Again, it's not as much play calling as mentality. I want to see him have that. It's 3rd and 2. Mm-hmm. We're lining up. Almost say we're running right here, by the way. See if you can stop us.
I get it, Phil, and I don't necessarily disagree. Philosophically, you get that run and you know that you've got the defense in a position. You have set it up to where these passes that you've worked on to get in this situation ought to be right there. But it's like you said at the top, that's why when you're talking about play calling, it's so hard, because if it works, it's great. If it's not,
if it doesn't.
But
just one more thing, a critique of it, though. It may seem like a critique because Brian Thomas Jr. dropped it. And if he catches it, maybe I'm not saying anything. It just felt like in that moment philosophically that this team has, in a very short period of time, Kai, has got the mentality to convert those 3rd down plays that we've been talking about since 2023.
Which I think big picture is an unbelievable thing.
Yep.
Because like I said at the top, to me, what we're talking about with the running game, that's the spine that you're going to build this thing on going forward, and it's been impressive so far.
Yep.
John, what's your hot take for us? I know we touched on a little bit.
Well, yeah, and I'll be short because we've talked about it so much, but the receiver thing needs to be a one-off, because this is a Sports Center big play league now. And when you get in the position, you work the whole game to get in position for 6 or 7 big moments. And they got in those positions, and despite the interceptions in the first half, despite whatever went wrong, they were 27-24 with a chance to go up 34-24. And the receivers that you thought in training camp, I would have said was maybe your best one to, in the conversation for best position group, didn't play like it, except for 11. Mm-hmm. So 11 needs to play.
Yeah.
He does. He's definitely earned his spot on the field. And I think just to couch it a little bit is where I'm going with mine is Brian Thomas Jr. had a bad day. I think De'Ami Brown had some things that he could have done much better as wide receiver, but this isn't a point your finger situation. I don't think that's the only reason they lost that football game. This is still a brand new coaching staff. This is still a brand new front office. There's a lot of new players on this team. And I think everybody needs to step up and be a little bit better at what they're doing in terms of consistency. We saw a lot of great things. Like, this is not the teams of last season where we were completely outmatched and you felt like maybe you lost an opportunity because you caught a good team on a bad day. This is a good team. They just need to be more consistent all around, and I think that includes everybody. When you're talking about maybe run the ball more, I think there were certain points of that game, especially when you have a lead late, let's run it a little bit. They haven't stopped it, so why aren't you doing, especially if you feel your wide receivers aren't making the catches you want?
Yeah, the rankings aren't out yet for this week. I hadn't seen them this morning, but I imagine the Jaguars are top 3, top 5 at least in terms of yard per carry average and maybe yards per game.
I think they were top 2 after the early games. Yeah.
And I assume they'll be there in takeaways. So when you think about it, if you had said before the season, if at the end of this season, this team is as good running and taking the ball away as they've been in the first 2 games, they'll be in the playoffs.
You know, Liam said in one of his post-game sound bites that they were going to have to go and look. He was about all those shifts. You ran it off the top and look at what they put in the game plan and see if they didn't have too much in there. I fully expect that he's going to go and look just at this that we're talking about now and see it as well. He is radically transparent.
He's really good, yeah.
He is amazing to listen to after a game. He tells you exactly what he saw, what he's thinking. Man, they got something in him.
And importantly, that translates, if he's talking with the public that way, clarity and clearness of message and clearness of goal, he's talking that to the players. And I've said it the last couple of weeks, you never know with the head coach.
No.
I knew he was an unbelievable offensive mind. He can really lead too, and that bodes really well.
Stay with us. We'll tell you what's coming up the rest of the week here in coming up after the break.
It's game time, Jaguars fans. This season, feed your fandom with the Jaguars sub from Publix, the official supermarket of your Jacksonville Jaguars. Sink your teeth into crispy chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, melted cheddar, sweet coleslaw, and smoky barbecue mayo, all stacked on a fresh white roll. Taste the hype only at Jacksonville Publix locations. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Since 2014, there's been only one official home builder of the Jaguars, Dreamfinders Homes. With quality-built homes and a speedy move-in process, we're in 20-plus communities in the best locations across Northeast Florida. Dreamfinders Homes is everywhere you want to live. So get off the sidelines, Jags fans, and get into the game. Let Dreamfinders help you navigate your home purchase and offer great interest rates. Visit DreamfindersHomes.com for all your move-in ready homes and step up your game.
Watch the game, host your crew, or just unwind at BC Grill and Patio at Sheridan Jacksonville, part of the Marriott family of hotels. Enjoy craft cocktails, tasty bites, and indoor-outdoor seating perfect for watch parties, happy hours, and events. Mention this radio ad for 10% off food and drinks. Visit SheridanJacksonville.com or call 904-564-4772.
Jags fans, this one's for you. If you've got MyGate rewards, you're already in the game. But now you've got a shot at the ultimate prize, meeting QB1 himself, Trevor Lawrence, at Everbank Stadium with 3 friends by your side. With the MyGate Rewards Gatorade Club, every 5 Gatorade items you purchase equals 1 entry toward your chance to win. Stack them up and score big. See store for details. Gear up for the season. Gates got you.
My husband, Steve, was diagnosed with prostate cancer. They only gave him months to live. That was years ago. Now, he's out there, under the tree. Nature photography is his thing. And apparently, so is catching poison ivy.
Oof, so itchy. UF Health. Human progress has no finish line.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium, because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern pit barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Jags fans, if you want customized Jaguars furniture for your home, check out zipchair.com to browse all the customizable options. Zipchair is furniture for fans.
That was just one throw. I was pissed. You know, it is what it is. You know, it's not, that's emotion. It's not personal ever. You know, that's just kind of me getting worked up. So he threw a dime in the back of the end zone. We don't make a play. You know, I was very pleased with his competitive nature, the way he stayed calm on the sidelines. Like, he doesn't get, you know, he's pretty even keel, which is good for me. I need that.
Coach Liam Collins says Trevor Lawrence is pretty even keel, which is good for him.
Yep.
They're getting after each other. We're talking about how honest he is after the game, but they're getting after each other in the game. which is kind of nice to see.
I'm okay with it. When I saw it, I thought I was reminded of the Super Bowl when Travis Kelce got in Andy Reid's face, right? And Reid, it's the reverse of this situation. Reid was just relaxed, and he didn't let anything get to him. It's a game of emotion. And there's no issue at all in my mind of this. And I love the fact that Trevor's personality is completely different than Liam's, and they play off of each other. I love the answer.
Look, I covered the Colts for 10 years. I saw Peyton wave the defense off the field multiple times. It's competitive. I saw him and Reggie Wayne get into it, right? And they couldn't be tighter. It's an emotional game on the sidelines, and I think Liam would tell you, I don't think he wants to coach a guy who doesn't have that in him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you both have to want it, and you both have to be competitive, and I think that's what we're seeing. I don't want fans to make too much of it, is the point, is because they both talked about it after, and I think they both enjoy that they both approach it the way that they do because it's very complementary to each other.
That's the right word, complementary.
Coming up this week, obviously a lot of changes to be made. First divisional game of the season, the Texans are coming back to town.
Jaguars have lost 3 of 4 against C.J. Stroud. And here's the interesting part. In the last 3, right, the one that the Jags won in Houston in 2023, and these 2 that they lost last year, Stroud has not turned the ball over. Jaguars have created turnovers all of a sudden. They have 6 in 2 games, whereas they had 9 in 17 last year.
Crazy number.
So I am going to be watching. Can they force turnovers? Can they make C.J. Stroud make mistakes?
If you like competitive, physical, tough, not backing down, that's going to be emphasized this week.
Yeah,
absolutely. Stay with us. We'll be back with Jags A.M. on Wednesday for you as we start looking ahead to the week 3 matchup against the Texans.